12 things a delta male has. In this new video, we'll talk about what a delta male is like in general. The alpha male is at the top of the social hierarchy, while the delta comes behind and the beta follower. He is called the average Joe because everyone knows him. He doesn't get the alpha's attention or the beta's dismissal. In fact, he falls in the middle of the social hierarchy and is often overlooked, but he is the backbone of families, relationships, and workplaces. But since not every man is the same, you might wonder what makes the delta male different from any other man. Here are 12 signs that you might be a delta man or no one. What makes a delta male? 1. The delta man has a strong work ethic. The delta male is a regular guy who works. Even though this is often a sign of a blue-collar job, the delta man can come from any background. He has a strong work ethic and is more likely to do the work himself than to give it to someone else, even if he is in charge. Because he works so hard, the delta male can sometimes feel angry at other people. He doesn't like working with people who don't do their fair share, and he'll feel used in relationships where the roles aren't equal. He doesn't always see what role he plays in this situation. Instead, he will compare his work to what other people are doing. He also has a strong sense of right and wrong. 2. He doesn't want to be in charge. The delta male doesn't want to be in charge, but that doesn't mean you won't find him in charge sometimes. Most likely, he'll be a laid-back boss who may sometimes micromanage slacker employees but will do the bare minimum of his job well. Don't count on him to go above and beyond to climb the ladder, though. He is proud of how well he does his job, but he might not want the extra responsibility that comes with a promotion. 3. He can't give up on love. You might be surprised to learn that the delta male personality type is the hopeless romantic. He has a lot to say about love and romance, and he's great at planning the perfect date night. Even though he's usually great in a relationship or as a member of a family, his romantic nature can also be his downfall. His high hopes for relationships might not always match up with how they turn out. He may also feel like he does more for the relationship, but that his partner doesn't always appreciate what he does. To do well in his close relationships, the delta male needs to find a balance between his romantic tendencies and some practical concerns. 4. He has many different faces. The personality type most likely to move into alpha, beta, or even sigma roles is the delta male. He can change his appearance. Because he works hard, he sometimes finds himself in a leadership role that he didn't seek out. Because he works well with others, he can follow someone else's good plans. And because he isn't competitive, he can handle a sigma's rebellion without trying to. He can move all over the social hierarchy, depending on what role he's playing calls for. 5. He is afraid. Even though the delta man is often successful, hardworking, and romantic, he is also insecure. He may fear rejection even though he wants to be with someone. He might think he's not a good choice for a date because he doesn't try to be successful or be in charge. To be fair, he doesn't seem like an alpha or sigma male would. He can't even do the quiet support of a beta male. He might find it hard to find someone who has the right amount of energy and won't try to force him to lead when he doesn't want to or try to make him follow when he doesn't want to. This could make him unsure of his role in relationships and make him feel insecure when he's dating. 6. He often gets angry. When he's not working, the delta man can be as chill as they come, but that doesn't mean he doesn't get angry. Because he often stews in anger, he can sometimes lash out. The delta male's short temper is partly because he is often tired and overworked. His tendency to work too much may help him feel good about himself and earn the respect of his coworkers, but it can also wear him out. Because he doesn't like to work out and prefers more laid-back activities, he probably doesn't have as many healthy ways to deal with stress. 7. He works hard and has a lot of fun. You'll notice that delta men both work hard and have a lot of fun. When they work, they are focused and get things done. When they are on vacation, all they want to do is chill out. During his free time, the delta male won't want to be dragged from one thing to the next. He's more likely to want to kick back with a drink and watch the latest series on streaming. He does deserve it. He works so hard that he needs to take time to relax whenever he can. Finding a healthy balance is important, but the truth is that delta men aren't good at it. Most of the time, they work too much, and when they're not on the clock, they zone out as if they're trying to make up for the lost time. 8. The delta man isn't good at competing. The delta man likes sports and games, but he's not very good at them. Certainly not with himself. He's proud of how good he is at things, but he doesn't try to get better. He's happy with the middle ground and doesn't feel the need to try to beat anyone. He might miss out on promotions or relationships because he didn't want to put in the extra work. On the one hand, he won't climb over anyone's dead body to get where he wants to go, but on the other, he can sometimes do the bare minimum and expect others to throw a parade to celebrate it. 9. He wants to be respected for how well he does his job. Delta men value respect over everything else. They won't waste time on partners who don't respect who they are and what they do. If you want to show a Delta man you love him, you should appreciate him in words, actions, and gifts. Tell him how much you appreciate what he does. People don't give the Delta male the credit he deserves. He might take out the trash without saying a word or jump in to help a friend without ever bringing it up again. This is why it means the world to him when others notice his quiet but important contributions. Even though he sometimes feels sorry for himself, most of the time he's just a good guy doing what he can and wishing more people appreciated what he brings to the table. 10. He tends to hurt himself. Many things are known about the Delta man. One of them is sabotaging yourself. His story is the problem. He loves to love and works hard. He is smart and deserves respect. Everything good. But when he thinks about what he does well, he sometimes doesn't notice what he does wrong. He might not realize that his romantic gestures have strings attached to them, or that his hard work comes with complaints or comparing other people's work and skills to his own. He often gets stuck in his head and gets in the way of himself. But if a Delta man is self-aware, he can be a good man who is happy to help you out in your life. He doesn't have the energy of a leading man, but he's happy to help the leading woman, or another partner, if he likes himself, thinks his partner likes him and focuses on doing a good job. 11. He is shy and quiet. One reason the Delta male is lower on the social ladder is that he is shy and prefers to be alone. But he's not shy like the Sigma, who can hide their shyness and blend in with other people. He's just quiet and often unobtrusive. At first, he might be hard to get to know. Part of the problem might be that he doesn't like himself very much, but the other problem is that he doesn't try to compete with anyone else for the spotlight. People always say that you have to watch out for the quiet ones, and the Delta man can be quiet. They can also be the kind of strong, quiet lover you want in your life if you can take your mind off the more powerful people in the room. 12. He keeps things quiet. The Delta man can be mysterious as well. He doesn't like to talk much about himself or his business on social media. This can be annoying for partners who want to be on their Delta man's Facebook page or Instagram reel. Even though he can seem secretive, the Delta man is sometimes just a private person. At first, it can be hard to tell if he's being secretive or just private. If you're dating a Delta man, you might want to think about whether you've met his friends and family in person. If that's the case, he's probably just shy online but happy to have you by his side in real life. And if his idea of dating you is staying in motels or coming to your place, and you don't know any of his friends, you might just be the side piece. The Delta male, what you need to know. Everyone is the Delta man. He is known as a normal guy. He isn't as noticeable as the Alpha. He's not making as much of a splash as the Sigma. He is not the Beta's friendly helper. In reality, he works, lives his life, and is proud of how he lives it. Maybe he doesn't bring the BDE or leading man energy into the room, but his quiet presence is steady and reliable. You know how hard he works. He's proud of how good he is at things, which could be good for the relationship and for how close they get. The Delta man is just a regular guy who likes to be appreciated and tries his best to do his job. Don't be too quick to swipe left on him for the more outgoing option. He might be quiet, but he might also be very valuable.